the other lead sound that I use, which is on the other bank, on bank 2, as I said in a previous video, my bank 1 is made up of a clean sound, 2 crunch sounds, 2 lead sounds, and bank 2 is made up of 2 clean sounds, 2 crunch sounds, and 1 lead tone. Now this lead tone actually uses the rhythm, the crunch channels on the 2 heads, and the function switch switches between the 2 heads. That's kind of my preferred way of working, to have a tone with 2 variations. But what it is, it's the crunch channel with the Marshall ED1 compressor pedal before it, which gives it a bit more gain and a smoothness, and it kind of sings quite nicely. So on the JSX then, I have a so it's a much lower gain sound, but it's still got lots of sustain going about it, which again is very useful at certain times. The way this is set up, it's not a stereo sound, there's not panning delays. What I get is the GSP1101 has a modulation delay of 250 milliseconds on it, which is on all the time. There's also, running in parallel on that, is a pitch shifter up an octave, which just gives it a bit more brightness. It's quite low in the mix. And then on the G major, what I've actually got on this setting is some detune. The delay is a dynamic delay, so that only kicks in when you stop playing. It ducks the delay level when you're actually playing, which is one of TC's great inventions, and it's fantastic. So, and that's, as I say, that's set to 500 milliseconds, and then there's also in parallel with that a reverb as well, but not a lot of reverb. So in the middle of that little bit, I just pulled the volume pot back a bit, and it just cleaned up the tone a little bit more. It coil taps quite nicely as well. Okay, as you can hear, when I was playing, there wasn't a whole load of delay going on, but when I played that last note, then the delays really kick in, and that's the real good thing about the dynamic delay. And then function switch, again, just switches the amp across to the XXX. So that's a much more aggressive tone, because my rhythm sound on the XXX is quite scooped. It's a sort of modern metal tone, but with the compressor and on the neck, it's still nice and smooth. Okay, this is obviously a much briefer rundown. Lead tones to me are much less complex than rhythm sounds. Getting the right rhythm sound is really important. So that's my lead sounds, sorry, are much more straightforward. But they give me everything I need. obviously the rig is very versatile, so if I wanted to program in a different sound, I could quite easily do that. And I can play leads on my rhythm channels. Yeah, that's not an issue. Okay, I hope that's been useful. And again, I'll just play you out going back to my standard lead tone, which is the JSX lead channel. And thank you for watching. See you again.